Hello everyone, it's Steven from Legendary Garage Sale Finds. With one more video before the year is out, before 2024 ends, I want to send a big thank you out to all my subscribers for supporting the channel and to everybody who's liked and commented on my videos throughout this year. Your support of the channel has meant everything to me, and I know and I felt like I have put out as much content as I really had hoped to. So thank you for toughing it out. But I have one more video for this year. We're going to jump into two great sales, which were a great way to end the year. So let's jump into that sales footage.
You weren't playing when you went and got that collection. You got them all, huh?
Good morning, y'all.
Good morning. $5.
I don't know.
That's pretty cool. How much?
Oh, look, Mr. Plant. That's old. Huh? What? Oh,
Maybe that one. Oh, Star Trek. Do not. Oh, what's that? Oh,
You must have seen something on the internet that you liked. Then I'm starting at Walmart trying to get some of them bills.
And later on.
Yeah.
Garage sales come first.
I ain't got to fight all the people wrapping around that building.
Okay, everyone, so here we have my modest little haul from that first garage sale. What drew me to the sale was this, a 1998 Godzilla cup holder, which I believe was part of Taco Bell's promotion for the 98 movie. I figured where there was one item, there might have been others, but unfortunately this is the only thing I found. And for $1, I decided to pick it up. Next up, we have this leather-bound, the complete Frank Miller Batman. Really impressive leather-bound trade back, which showcases these stories: Batman Year One, Wanted, Santa Claus Dead or Alive, and The Dark Knight Returns. Really happy to find this thing. I recently actually just sold one of these sealed for about $30, so I figure I'd pick up another one. Now, what I pulled out of the quarter bin was quite surprising when I looked up their worth. First up, we have these Kellogg's surprises, which would have been in cereals, I think, in the early 2000s. They are lightsaber spoons, and you would put watch batteries into these, and they would make the spoon part glow red, green, and other colors. So I have 4 here. I decided to sell them in lots, and 2 have already sold for $20, so haven't listed these 2 lots yet. Last, we have these collection of pins that I found in that bin. We have 3 Star Trek here, and I was quite surprised when I looked up the value of these Marvel X-Men pins, especially this one, the Xavier School for the Gifted. This one had a comp of over $100, so fingers crossed this one does just as well. So there you have it, guys. Let's get back to the sales footage. Okay, everybody, so here we are at a warehouse sale that was advertised by an eBay reseller who was trying to move what looked like bins of modern toys and some video games. So I decided to go out just to see what I could find, and I was completely blown away by the absolute treasure trove of what I found. Because you'll see it in the footage that sprinkled among these modern toys were a lot of older vintage toys that I was so surprised to see. Some of them I had never seen before, and I had truly an amazing time. The eBay seller, Jacob, was a really nice guy, and I knew I was gonna like him right off because he was wearing a Godzilla shirt, and we hit it off and talked Godzilla for a good long while actually. And I found some really nice Godzilla pieces, and he even brought out some amazing X Plus models and statues that weren't really part of the sale, but he wanted to show them to me, and I thought they were really awesome, but they were a little out of my price range. I'll put a few pictures of the ones I was considering, but they were just a bit too big for me to bring home. But I like seeing the X Plus models being showcased, and I was really appreciative of all the interesting stuff he brought out that wasn't outside of his storage unit that he intended to sell at this warehouse sale. But there was anything and everything within these bins, as you can see from the footage. There was no real rhyme or reason. There was just a lot of toys that he had said he hadn't got around to listing, and I, for one, love a great dig. And the more I dug, I just found the interesting things. This footage is actually the second day when I came back, because I was considering a few items I didn't pick up on the first day. So I decided to come back, and the whole thing kind of felt like a private pick because I was the only one there, but that was their loss because I believe he had something for everybody. The video game stuff was really neat. Of course, I've already have a couple PS2s and GameCube controllers and everything, and I was looking for the more rare, unique items, which I found, and the more I talked about my interest and what he collected, he brought out a lot of interesting things to look at, and I put together some pretty nice piles my time there, and I think I got a great deal on everything. And I remember telling him, thank you so much for putting on this sale. It was really what I needed, because a good dig through the nostalgia, your childhood, brings back a lot of good memories, and seeing a lot of things, picking up a few items I haven't seen in quite a while was really what I needed that particular day. But I hope you out there, if you see something that I should have grabbed, there were a few things I was thinking about still on this day, but I was only trying to pull the things out that I knew I wouldn't be able to come across or had any real interest, because there was just so much. The surprising Gen 1 pieces, like the Megatron here, that was more or less broken and missing a good chunk of its pieces, was an interesting piece that I had actually never really seen before, but it was quite a surprise just to see it in this bin. In the later part of the footage, you'll see me looking at a bunch of Turtles items that I have come across in the past, but I already have a good number of them in the inventory, so I didn't feel like picking up any kind of triplicates. So I hope you enjoy the remainder of the footage. I want to say thanks again to Jacob and Rachel for all the great conversation about reselling your collections, Godzilla. It was greatly appreciated. So after the footage, you're going to see what I picked up on both days. That is me. Let's see what else I got better ones. Oh, geez. Chrome dome. How many pieces with these guys? All those turtles. Okay, everybody, so here's an overview of everything that I picked up. A majority of this was from the warehouse sale, and a big shout out to Jacob and Rachel for the opportunity to come out and buy from them on 2 separate occasions. I greatly appreciate the opportunity and especially enjoyed all the extra items you pulled out for me to buy. Looking back, I wish I had gotten your eBay seller information to share. But if you ever watch this, please put it down in the comments so everybody else can see all your amazing stuff. So what I didn't pick up at the warehouse sale was a few items at a flea market. Got this Jet Li Rise to Honor, the Beast Wars Rampage figure, missing a lot of pieces, but the body's still complete and not broken. And this rare Snailians lot. It's a line I haven't come across in a good long time. I remember having a figure similar to this growing up. That's how I knew what they were. And I think these figures will do pretty well online. Now, here is a Mighty Max Terror Talon set. I believe it's missing a good part of his figures, but the main body is there. Max is there. And a few other accessories. Although I think this one might be broken. Got a Sega Genesis Super Hydel game. I have to clean it up, make sure it works. A sealed pack of Garbage Pail Kids, the 13th series, which I believe is from 1988. This was an interesting piece I haven't seen in a while. A Turtle Communicator with a good majority of its cards still in here. I'm not sure how many are in there, but there's a good chance it might be all the set there. And next up, we have some Gen 1 Transformers. The one I remember having growing up is Afterburner. Got a 98 Godzilla. Not sure what kind of figure this is. It might have been from a fast food toy set, but it's pretty cool. Now, I don't come across many of the original Universal monsters, but here we have Raphael as the Mummy. I dug through the boxes, and you might have saw in the footage there were some turtles, but I unfortunately could not find the creature from the Black Lagoon, Leonardo, which would have been the main one I've been looking for. You got the original Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. I remember having one similar growing up, so it was nice to re-add him to the collection. Back here we have my favorite pieces because, as I learned, Jacob was a Godzilla guy. We have a Bandai Mechagodzilla from '93 and 2 VHS Destroy All Monsters. I always liked that cover. And Godzilla 1985. When I found those at the beginning of the sale, I knew it was going to be a lot different than what I expected. Now here we have a kind of a knockoff Transformer This is a Turbo Owl, if I remember correctly, from the 80s, and his axe weapon. Miniature Godzilla figure. Got a little guy again. 2 Voltron keys, which is pretty neat. I haven't really come across them ever. We also have Voltron shield here. Ninja Turtle weapon. Skeletor's weapon. A Transformers Gen 1 weapon. I believe this is to a Dinobot, so it always use more of those. And this weapon I thought was for a Voltron cat is actually for a Transformers knockoff robot cat. We have most of the easy to lose pieces of Starscream and the instruction manual. I believe I have a Starscream body somewhere, so these will go to that to complete it. Right here, I found a stack of old toy comic books and instruction manuals. Here we have a few Ninja Turtle ones. I'm not sure the real value of these, but when I saw them, I was like instantly taken back and remember all the crazy point catalogs. This one's neat. If I can pull it out. Mutation chart. Yeah, I do remember having one similar to this growing up. And just the nostalgia of it made me want to get them, so I added them to my pile. More point catalogs. And I want to show this last. But here we have a Sectors comic book. Very interesting puppet line. That's, let me see here, yeah. The figures were actually insects that were puppets. Remember having one of these growing up. I thought it was a pretty interesting line. So happy to find that. A Nintendo Power poster. And this rare piece here, which I had never knew existed before. This is a glow-in-the-dark Transformers poster, which is supposedly one of 4 that you can put together. It's a little damaged in the middle right here, but I intend on fixing that by framing this and seeing if it will still glow in the dark. Haven't tried that out yet. Now, back here we have the shell storage Michelangelo. Got a lot of his weapons inside, but I don't want them to spill out right now. Here we have the main body of the Gen 1 blaster. Don't see it too often, so I decided to pick it up. And from one of my favorite lines growing up in the early 90s, we have the exploding scorpion alien. It still works, but it's very hard to put back together once his main body explodes. But my absolute favorite part of this entire haul was the Battle Beast haul. It was by far one of my favorite lines growing up, even though it was probably the most obscure and miniature. Each of these figures is about 2 inches tall, but I think incredibly detailed for its time, and they're just really hard to find, honestly, especially with their weapons. Now here we have 17 of them. I did have 19 of them, but I did gift 2 of them to my boy. I want to say 5 of them have their weapons here. I got an extra weapon for one of the figures not here. I believe this is a weapon for the camel Battle Beast, but anybody who hunts these particular figures will know it's pretty hard to find a decent lot of these. So happy when Jacob brought out a whole bag full of them, and I pretty much more or less bought all of them because I never thought I would come across such a quantity before, especially at a sale, which I thought I was only going to find modern toys. So that really was something awesome. And the more we talked, Jacob brought out a pretty rare piece, a giant Battle Beast coloring book, which I never knew existed before. But he was nice enough to show it to me. It wasn't for sale, but it was still neat to see, and I really great appreciate it. And maybe one day I might come across it myself, but it was still really, really awesome. And I can't say enough how much I appreciate the opportunity to come by at this sale and get shown stuff that originally wasn't for sale and make a decent offer on it. But everything you see here, minus the 2 Battle Beasts that I gave away as a gift. I think I gave him also 2 mini Mad Balls and 2 Muscle Men for my son's collection. But everything here, I spent a little over $300 on. Value-wise, I believe that was a pretty good deal. And as long as he was happy with it, I was very happy with it. Given I think most of the value is right here, everything else was just amazing. So thanks again, Jacob. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. But there you go, guys. Let me know what you think of this particular haul to finish out 2024. I haven't had a pretty big haul like this in a good while, so I was over the moon with it, and these will be added to my Battle Beast shelf. But until next time and next year, thank everyone for watching, and have a happy new year.